As many of you know, I offer drone or aerial photography as part of my real estate photography business. In this video, I'm going to talk about the methods that I use to capture nice looking aerial photos. I'm using a DJI Mavic 2 Pro with a SanDisk Ultra Class 10 micro SD card. In my next video, I'll be editing these photos in Adobe Lightroom. So let's take a ride. Once you turn on your drone and the controller, the DJI Go 4 app will automatically launch. I hit Go Fly and it takes me to the interface. You'll notice that there's a magnetic interference and it wants me to calibrate the compass. This happens every so often, but it's very easy to fix. Once I hit Calibrate, then hit OK, it tells me that I need to rotate the drone 360 degrees in a circle while holding the drone horizontally. Now I repeat that same step, only holding the drone vertically. And just like that, we have calibrated the compass. The next thing I do is format the SD card. But first I check to see if there are other photos or videos on this SD card, because when I format the card, those photos and videos will be erased. I think it's a good habit to format the card before each shoot. But remember, when you format your cards, all photos and videos will be deleted. So if you have multiple shoots in a day, either use different SD cards for each shoot, or remember to only format your card before your first shoot and not at any other shoot that day. I can see that I have some other photos on this card, but I have them backed up, so it's okay if they get erased. So to format the card, click on this settings button, then click on the gear icon and scroll all the way to the bottom. Click on Format Card and then OK. It will tell you that the formatting was successful. Now I'll show you just a couple of settings I like to use when shooting aerial photos. I like to shoot in 16:9 image ratio. I typically use the sunny white balance setting unless it's darker or really cloudy. I like to take 3 bracketed shots to give me some options when I'm editing. This will give me a darker, normal, and overexposed image. Also make sure that you're shooting raw photos. As far as ISO, aperture, and shutter speed, I usually keep those on auto and the camera does a pretty good job of adjusting. So now that we've calibrated the compass, formatted our card, and got our settings dialed in, we are ready to take off. Click this upward arrow button and slide to take off. The first shots I like to get are closer to the ground, like around mid-height of the house. This gives me a different perspective than a ground shot and I think it looks nice. So once I get it framed up the way I want, I press the photo button and 3 photos are taken because I set it up to take 3 bracketed photos. And I'll sometimes take a few from a couple different distances if I can. I'll make my way around the property at this lower altitude to see if I can get some nice angles. Here you can see there's a tree in the way on the left side, so I had to fly higher and further away to get a good shot. Obviously the water is the highlight of these shots, so I want to make sure to show the proximity of the water. I can also tilt my camera down. I do this when the sun is really harsh. Shooting into the sun is difficult, so keep that in mind when you're shooting. So I keep working my way around the property looking for openings. Right now I'm at 114 feet and looking to find a nice angle. This tree is in the way, so that won't work. Taking straight on shots from the back or the front are always good. This shot here doesn't really do anything. You can't see the water, the house is kind of far away, and there's a warehouse looking thing in the foreground. So I want to move to where I don't see the warehouse anymore, or where I can at least see some water. So this is much better, because the house is the focal point and the warehouse is pretty much gone. Now we need to get out over the water. This shot right here is nice, even though we have the warehouse on the right. At least we're showcasing how close the house is to the water. Same thing here, showcasing the water. Another thing to point out is I try to follow the rule of thirds, at least with the sky. You can see I have these grid lines on the screen. If I can have the sky take up the top third of the screen, that's ideal for me. I don't do it in every picture, but I think it's good to try when you can. Here I'm trying to get another lower shot. This tree is not making things very easy, but I still think showing the stone wall and the porch is very nice. I also like to get a bird's eye view of the property if I can. It just shows the layout nicely. Now I'll take some shots that are farther away to show the beauty of what surrounds the property. Again, just finding angles that look nice, keeping the rule of thirds if I can. That's a nice shot there showing the ocean all around. Here you can see shooting into the sun is rough, but we can fix some of that stuff when we edit the photos. Sometimes if I feel like I missed something, I'll go back and take a few more shots. And that's it. In my next video, I'll walk through my editing process for these aerial photos. Let me know if you have any questions, and remember, keep shooting.